Today we will demonstrate how to make a soft pretzel, an iconic staple of Oktoberfest. For this recipe, you will need 3 cups of bread flour and 1/4 cup of honey, 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon of active yeast, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Since we are using honey in our homemade soft pretzels, we should note the risk feeding raw honey poses to infants because of possible contamination of Clostridium botulinum, which can cause a serious medical condition. First, ready your oven by moving the rack to the middle position and preheating to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's make the dough. Taking a large mixing bowl, add 3 cups of bread flour and 1 teaspoon of salt and mix. Activate the dormant yeast by warming 1 cup of water to 105 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit and mixing in 1/4 cup of honey. Add the 1 teaspoon of active yeast and mix. Pour the yeast into the flour mixture and begin to mix until you form a rough ball. When the dough feels pliable and soft, knead it for 5 to 7 minutes until you form a smooth ball. Set the dough aside in a lightly greased bowl. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and allow it to double in volume at room temperature over the next 1 to 1.5 hours. Once it's doubled, punch down the dough for the final proof. This step will ultimately produce a finer texture and mellow out the yeast flavor. Replace the dough in the grease bowl and recover with plastic wrap and allow to rise for another 30 to 40 minutes. While we wait, let's ready our baking soda bath. In a 12-inch skillet, add 6 cups of water and 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Place the skillet on the stove burner at high heat and bring water to a simmer, about 140 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, prepare an aluminum baking sheet with a sheet of parchment paper and set aside. Once the dough is ripe, we will divide it into 12 equal portions. Roll out the dough into 20-inch long, 1/2 inch wide ropes. Twist into pretzel shape by forming an oval with the rope with the ends overlapping on each end. Firmly press the ends into the dough. Our next step is to poach the dough in the baking soda bath. Poaching is a moist heat cooking method that sets the surface of the pretzel using currents of hot water heated by conduction via skillet. Cooking the outside of the dough traps moisture inside, creating a delicious, chewy texture. Using a slotted spoon or tongs, place the pretzels into the simmering water. Simmer for 30 seconds on each side. Traditionally, pretzels are poached in a diluted lye bath to achieve their dark mahogany color. However, lye is very caustic with a pH of 14. Instead, we can use baking soda, which has a pH of 11.5. Baking soda will alkalize the surface of the pretzel, speeding up the Maillard reaction to create a deep brown crust. The Maillard reaction is a non-enzymatic browning that occurs at high temperatures between the carbonyl group of a linear reducing sugar and the amino groups of the amino acids in the dough. After poaching the pretzels, remove them and place on the prepared baking sheet. Sprinkle with coarse salt and place in the oven to bake at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 14 to 16 minutes or until deep brown. Once done, remove from the oven and serve warm or at room temperature with a side of mustard or cheese sauce. Enjoy!